Hello, everyone. Kia ora. Welcome to this exclusive webinar on Chart Your Academic Journey at Unitec Institute of Technology, New Zealand. My name is Priyanka. Um, I'm the host of today's webinar. I am Client Relations Manager with Immigration Advisors New Zealand Limited. And before we dive into the presentation, I would just like to extend a warm welcome to all of you joining us from different parts of the world. We appreciate your time and interest in exploring the fantastic opportunity that Unitec has to offer for us today. So, while we talk about exploring the opportunities, I would just like to urge each one of you to engage actively by using the Q&A feature to submit your questions. Whether you want to get clarity on the discussed content or you would just like to hear from a panelist insights on the related topic, please do not hesitate to ask. All right, with that said, now we will dive into our content. So once again, my name is Priyanka Amin. I'm the Client Relations Manager with Immigration Advisors New Zealand Limited. And to talk about us, we Immigration Advisors New Zealand Limited are headquartered in Auckland, New Zealand. The building that you see on the right is where we are located with the arrow pointing towards. So we are located on the sixth, I'm sorry, we sit on the sixth floor. The entire floor is ours. And we have 4 licensed immigration advisors. Our team's strength lies in its diversity, having helped clients from over 30 different countries, where we offer tailored immigration solutions to meet each individual's unique needs. We are supported by a diverse staff representing over 6 different nationalities. So we bring a deep understanding of various cultures, their backgrounds to our work. Collectively, we possess over 20 years of experience in the immigration industry, guiding individuals and their families through the immigration process. And we are proud to be the most reviewed licensed immigration advisors in New Zealand, showing how committed we are to doing a great job and making sure our customers are happy. And our reach extends far beyond New Zealand because we do have local presence in key locations, including India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Philippines, Bangladesh, and Middle East, which helps us to serve our clients worldwide in a better way. All right. So now, as you have seen on the screen, we have a distinguished panel of speakers who will be sharing their insights and expertise with us. So let me get started introducing to our first speaker. We have Abhineet Sharma, who is the Regional Manager for South Asia at Unitec, one of New Zealand's leading institute of technology and polytechnic. Abhineet has an extensive experience in the field of international education and a deep understanding of the South Asian market. So he has been instrumental in fostering educational collaborations and guiding students towards fulfilling their academic aspirations. So along with Abhineet, we do have our other speaker, who is Dr. Liz Rainsbury. Dr. Liz is an academic program manager for Faculty of Applied Business. Dr. Liz, would you like to say hi to our participants? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
you're on mute. All good.
Deary me, sorry about that. Kia ora, everybody. It is my pleasure to be here this evening to promote our programs and to answer any of your questions. I'd also like to introduce my colleague, Grace Hallam, who is a program coordinator who works closely with me on the program, and I invited her along this evening so she can get a wider perspective in terms of the immigration market. So looking forward to working with you, collaborating with you this evening.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Liz. So next we have, so welcome, Grace. I'm sorry, Grace, since I didn't get to introduce you, but Dr. Liz did introduce you. So welcome, Grace, for our today's webinar.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. So next we have our very own Ms. Vandana Rai, a senior licensed immigration advisor at Immigration Advisors New Zealand Limited. Ms. Vandana has an extensive experience in New Zealand immigration laws and policies. She has successfully assisted many clients with their immigration needs, from visa applications to long-term residency plans. Ms. Vandana will provide expert advice on the visa application process. She will give tips for a successful application and answer any immigration related questions you may have. So, with this, we are excited to have all our speakers on board today, and the combined knowledge will definitely provide you with an comprehensive understanding of both the educational opportunities as well as immigration processes involved. All right. So, with that said, I would just quickly move to our next screen and I would like to talk about the scope of today's webinar. So, here's what we will be discussing today. So, we will be talking about the program description and the curriculum overview. We will also be going through the admission criteria and application process involved at Unitec. Then they will also talk about the student support services and the career outcomes and the options. All and along with that, they will also talk about the stories of alumni achievement because that will definitely give you a real world perspective to hear about their journeys, achievements, and how their education at Unitec has helped them in their professional lives. With that said, the last topic that we would be talking about, the skill migration pathway, where our license immigration advisor will talk about the section, particularly beneficial for those who are looking to settle in New Zealand after completing their studies. So with that said, now I'll stop share my screen and I will pass it over to Abhineet. So Abhineet, whenever you're ready.
Hello, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank the Immigration Advisor New Zealand team for organizing this webinar where we could connect with the students not only from India or from New Zealand, sitting in New Zealand, but from different parts of the world. And I also like to thank Liz Rinsbury, who is the Academic Program Manager, and Grace Hallam for accepting the invitation to come in and speak about our business programs. So let me, without wasting much time, let me just start. What I'll be talking about today is about touch basing about Unitec and why you should make a choice to study at Unitec. Also, I'll be talking about few different programs that we offer at Unitec, and then I'll also talk in detail about Master of Applied Technologies program, where how's the structure and what kind of specialization we offer. So let's get started. I mean, I understand that students have a lot of choices, and New Zealand is among fifth choice when it comes to uh, studying overseas. But in New Zealand, when you choose New Zealand, still you have plenty of options. But why you have to come and study at Unitec? I mean, Unitec, what we offer is what we teach you is the skills you will need in a job. So it's more applied learning, it's more practical learning, and it's all about having an experience, a wonderful experience that you can think of. What you see, what you expect to study overseas, you would be able to get that at Unitec. Our campus culture, we have a wonderful campus. It's a lot of green outdoor spaces, so you will have really a good experience when you study with us. And another thing that we quite good at it is like having the small class sizes. In this, you'll have more one-to-one attentions. Unlike other universities where you have a lecture hall with 400 students or 300 students, here we understand the strength and weakness of each student, and then we would be able to provide support to the student. And also we come under QA, and we have to follow the pastoral care for international students. It's a code of practice that we have to follow. So the student support services we have a separate team, not only just for settling the students in, but also for providing cultural guidance, personal support, and career counseling. And we offer programs from certificates to masters. So you will have plenty of choice to choose from, and depending on your interest. So you will have a lot of options here. And we are based only in Auckland. We do not have any other campus elsewhere. It's only in Auckland, and Auckland is rated as most livable city in the world. because it's quite multicultural. And if half of the New Zealand population lives in Auckland, the main reason is for the jobs. There are plenty of jobs, and all big five companies that you know about are in Auckland. So that gives a lot of opportunities for students to um, find jobs easily when they study with at Unitec. So as I mentioned, we are very close to the city. It's around 10-15 minutes away from the city center. So this is a huge campus, around 50 acres of building that we have, and with good world-class facilities and good buildings. We also have another campus, which is in Waitakere, which is around 30-40 minutes from the city center. This campus, we offer our health-related programs like nursing and medical imaging programs. So, I mean, at Unitec, we have different study spaces for students, and student services team is there. There's cafes, restaurants in the campus. There's a multi-floor library where there are plenty of books and e-books available for the students to take care. And there's a student health center. So if a student is sick or something, he doesn't have to go out of the campus. The doctors would be available, the nurses would be available at the campus. So that's quite easy for students to uh, see the doctor at the time of need. So student connectors, we also believe in having wonderful experience, as I mentioned earlier. So it starts from when student arrive to the campus. Like now, there's the orientation going on. We also have a student connectors. They are the past international students or the other domestic students. What they do is they become a student buddy. So they're student volunteers. So they make sure that the new students who are arriving into the campus have know everything and able to use the services that we offer. So this is quite good experience. It gives the first-hand experience to the students when they're adjusting life into a new country and a new institute. So we have a separate student support team. They provide assistance not only with just study related things, but also with pastoral care. And if there's a kind of student who's feeling homesick, they could talk to our counselors. They would be able to assist the students. So there are a lot of support available. The only thing the students would need to do is come and ask us. So there's plenty of services and support available for the students. I mean, as I mentioned, the first point I mentioned is our courses are more applied learning. It's more industry oriented. So what we offer is an opportunity for students to connect to the industry. I'm sure Liz would be talking more about this, but I just wanted to touch base on our kind of events that we do for the students to get connected to the industry. We do a lot of on-campus and online career and employability events. We bring the people from the industry to come and at the campus to talk about what they could offer to the international students if they want to work with them. We do a lot of workshops, networking events. There's 2 career events happen every year, which allow students to meet different people from different companies to come and talk about what kind of skill set they're looking, what kind of job opportunities a company could offer to them. So that will help students to prepare while they are while they're still studying with us, and able to build that skill set so that they can get jobs easily. For us and for students, the most important thing when they plan to study with any institute overseas is the job opportunities. And our graduates find jobs because our programs are like that. So they are more industry oriented programs. And most of our programs will have an internship industry project component into it. So that will give more practical experience to the students. So when they graduate, they are already half trained. So it's easy for the students to immediately get into the workforce, understand the particular company culture, particular software that company use, and able to gel into the company easily. So there are a lot of part-time opportunities in Auckland, and as you know, students are allowed to work 20 hours per week during the class hours and full-time during the uh, vacation period. So we encourage students to take part-time jobs as well, and we could assist the students in finding one if they're not able to find one. So there are a few industry partners that we work with, quite familiar names: Google, HP, Datacom, Upland Console. There are a few companies that we Fonteram, and the engineering companies that we also work with, like Becca is quite big, Filtenhagen, and other companies. So most of our intakes are in February and July. There's another intake only for one program, that's Master of Applied Business, which Liz would be talking more about it. We also have October intake. Apart from that, most all our programs have February and July intake only. So I just wanted to go through about our programs. We offer New Zealand diplomas in business. This program is usually for students who want to get into complete a bachelor degree. So that would work as a pathway program. We also have New Zealand diploma in construction, New Zealand diploma in engineering, New Zealand diploma in surveying. So the reason why I highlighted it in green is like it comes under green list, which I'm sure Vandana would be talking more about it. So we also have New Zealand diploma in cybersecurity, which is 1 year. That can also lead to a bachelor degree. The architecture technology is for 2-year diploma program. Not very common with the international students, but because most of the students would prefer a bachelor degree, we also offer a bachelor degree as well. But again, if somebody is not meeting the requirement for bachelor, they can come and start doing a diploma program with architecture technology. And then New Zealand diploma in information system. And also we offer a vet nursing program, which is for 1 year, and students would be able to gain registration as a vet nurse after completion of a 1-year program. So bachelor degree, we have applied sciences, applied technology, architecture studies, landscape architecture. In business, we have accounting, management, marketing specialization. For computing, we have cybersecurity and networking, software development, and data intelligence and analytics. So these are the 3 areas, especially in computing, that we offer. Bachelor of Construction, again, on green list. So we have construction economics, construction management as the specialization. Then Bachelor of Design is there, and we also have masters as well. So Bachelor of Engineering, we have civil and electrical. So there are more bachelor courses: Bachelor of Nursing, Bachelor of Health Science, Bachelor of Teaching, and veterinary nursing also. So not on the green list, there is good demand for that program for vet nurses. So graduate diplomas have been not very popular since there's been change in the post-study work visas. But again, somebody is not meeting the requirements directly for PG or masters, we recommend them to study a graduate diploma program, and then they can that can lead to PG diploma or master's program. So that could work as a bridging course. But the graduate diploma in construction project management, it's still on the green list. It's a 1-year program. Then that would help students to settle in quickly as well and find employment in construction sector. So coming to PG and masters, we have PG diploma in applied business, masters in applied business. Then we have PG diploma in creative practice and masters in creative practice. All our masters programs are 18 months and PG diplomas are 12 months. Apart from Master of Architecture is 2 years, but rest of the other master's programs are for 18 months only. So PG Diploma of Applied Technology, Master of Applied Technologies is the program which is quite popular with the Indian students and South Asian students, as they would, I mean, most of the students I see that they want to go and study MS in USA. So this program would be quite similar to that. It's Master of Applied Technologies, and in that we have 3 different specialization. So data analytics and intelligence. In this course, it's more concentrating on data analytics tools, which is used to solve the data-driven projects. And then we have cybersecurity and networking. So as we know, cybersecurity is quite booming and it's quite important now. So there's been a lot of external, internal threats. So there's been a lot of strategies have been in place. So this cybersecurity is quite high in demand. And software development. If somebody is looking at or want to work as a programmer, learn the skills as machine learning, IoT, and web development, software development would be a good option. So there are 3 different specialization, and Master of Applied Technology program is for 18 months. It has 3 semesters. The structure gives you a flexibility, because a student want to study a Master of Applied Technology can also do a 90 credit applied research thesis project, uh, or they can take up a 60 credit applied project and a 30 credit applied project with combining 2 courses. So there's a different flexibility that student could choose from. So if you could see the first table here, so this is for taking an applied project, which is at level 9, and then could to take 2 different mixed 2 courses and take few electives and complete 180 credits. Another way, what students could do is take a 90 credit thesis project. The thesis topic would be that given to the student, that's a list of topics, and student could choose one of the topics to complete that program. So a lot of students would take an applied project, but there are few students who have already completed a master's degree. They want to do another master degree. They would take a thesis project that could complement their master's degree. So the fee is around $25,000 to $30,000. PG diploma and masters, the fee is around $32,000, $32,000 to $33,000 for 2 semesters per year. And the living cost that students would need to budget is around 20,000 New Zealand dollars. Coming to the English language requirement, the academic requirement for any diploma program, we need at least 55% in class 12. That is, and for bachelor degree, we need 70%. And for students coming from Nepal, we need at least 2.8 GPA from Nepal, and also a 1 year of proficiency certificate. So needs a 13-year qualification if the student is coming from Nepal. For PG and masters, bachelor degrees must, and then they need to have minimum 65%. So we do a kind of a special admissions too, considering a work experience. If student has 5+ years of work experience, but again, that is on the discretion of program manager, and that would be treated on case-to-case basis. Yeah, so that is from me. I would pass that the floor to Liz to take it further.
So Priyanka, I share my screen, do I?
All right. If you would like, I can share the screen for you.
Yeah,
I'll just
that'd
pull
be
up.
cool.
Sure. So, Abhineet, if you could just stop sharing your screen, and thank you for giving that insight. All right. I'll just quickly pull up the presentation. Just give me a minute over here. Is this the one?
No, that's Ebony's, isn't it?
All right. I'll just pull the other one then. Just a minute. Here you go. Is this the one?
Yes, that's it. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay. So I'm just going to give you an overview of our 2 master's programs in the School of Applied Business. So could we go to the next slide? So we have 2 master's programs. One is the Master of Applied Business, and the other is a Master of Professional Accounting. The Master of Applied Business has 5 specializations, and the idea about the Masters is that it will develop students' advanced knowledge in a particular specialization, their critical thinking, and also ultimately to be able to undertake a piece of research in their specialist area. I'll talk about the specializations in the next slide. Embedded within the Masters of Applied Business is a postgraduate diploma in applied business or a postgraduate certificate in applied business. In terms of the international market, no one's interested in the postgraduate certificate, which is a 6 months program, because there are no post-study visa rights. The postgraduate diploma in applied business does allow students who pass, as I understand, a 1-year post-study visa right, and the Masters of Applied Business 3 years. Our specialisations are business analytics, digital marketing, leadership, advanced HR, and supply chain and logistics. The most popular specialisations at the moment are business analytics and supply chain and logistics. Can we just go back to the previous slide, Priyanka? The other program we offer is the Master of Professional Accounting. Now, this program is suitable for applicants that already have an accounting background, but wish to have work opportunities in New Zealand, or it can be someone that is working in accountancy or has had experience close to accountancy and actually wants to formalise that in their learning. So we do take students that have had no accounting experience, but generally I would be looking for the fact that they have had some accounting work experience. Our entry criteria for both these masters, under general admission, the students have got to be well performed at a bachelor's level. So we're looking for a merit performance, something like 65% and above. So we're looking for a good performance. But also, sometimes we have applicants whose academic history was some years ago. So the work experience is also important to evaluate in terms of granting admission. For recent graduates, though, from a bachelor's, it is important that they have very good grades. Okay, so grades in the 50s are not going to get accepted with minimal work experience. I just want to make that clear. Can we move on? This, so the structure of the Masters of Applied Business is provided here. There are 2 elective courses that the students can undertake and 3 specialisation courses. So generally in the first semester, they do a compulsory strategic IQ course, design thinking for business, and 2 courses in the specialisation. Semester 2, they do business research methods, a specialisation course, and 2 electives. The business research methods is a course that some of our students find very challenging. It's not to be underestimated because it's a little different from the other courses, which are actually quite structured in terms of, right, this is the assessment, this is what you do, you do this so many words. In the business research methods, they actually have to proactively identify a research question and identify methodology to try and resolve it. If they're successful in that course, they then go on into semester 3 in the industry research project to actually undertake the piece of research. So those 2 courses are very, very closely related. And as I said, some students find that challenging. They need to work really hard because it's not as structured. It's very self-directed, those 2 courses. Can we go to the next slide, Priyanka? The postgraduate diploma structure is just 2 semesters, 1 year, and the students complete 2 compulsory courses, 3 specialisation courses, and then they can select 3 courses from any other any other course that they haven't done before. So shall we move on, please? Now, the Masters of Professional Accounting is a very straightforward structure. There is very little flexibility for students. So basically they do 4 courses in semester 1, 4 in semester 2, and then they finish with a compulsory internship in semester 3. I needed to refer to in the Masters of Applied Business, students can take an internship by combining 2 electives because their internship is of 30 credits. I've referred to our specialisations. In our graduate surveys, there's very good data that suggests that students are getting jobs in their chosen specialisation. So they are getting employment in those specialisations. So I'm just repeating or reinforcing what Abhineth said before about how we learn at Unitec, our teaching and learning. A lot of our learning is applied with an orientation on the employment market. Although there has to be theory, it's a master's, so they have to understand theoretical concepts as part of advanced knowledge. But we do try to make the learning more applied. So in terms of our assessment, the students use case studies. They have assignments. A lot of those are focused on a real problem or could be a company that they look at. They can be asked to work in teams, to do group projects. They're asked to do oral presentations. And for the Masters of Professional Accounting, because we're accredited to Chartered Accountants Australia, New Zealand and CPA Australia, 50% of the assessment in each course has to be invigilated. What that means, the students, they're answering the questions as in a supervised environment. So they are in a classroom getting supervised to make sure that their work is their own. And that's an external requirement. That's not the case with the MAB. The MAB, the assignments, there are tests, but not as many as the Masters of Professional Accounting. A lot of that is assignment and project work. As I said, in both programs, students can do internships, and we have staff that have developed good relationships with industry and support our students to take an internship. It is a partnership. We do ask students to make an effort themselves, but ultimately we support them in getting internships. And that is something they really appreciate. And for some of them, they get employment, but for others, they get good experience that they can put on their CV when they hit the job market. I just want to do a shout out to our lecturers, who I think are very skilled. Our staff, some of them have got strong industry experience and connections to industry. They've come from industry to teach, but also we have very high qualified academics with PhDs with wonderful research records. And so they're here to support our students. Priyanka, can you? So with the internships, we've been offering them in our program since 1995. As I said, they're a key part of our master's and our bachelor's programs. And there are a couple of, there's some student feedback that's listed there for you to refer to. And I think for our international students, an internship gives them an opportunity to have a better understanding of the New Zealand work environment and how, I suppose, Kiwis work, the kinds of cultures in those workplaces. Because a number of our students already have work experience. It's about adjusting to the norms in a New Zealand workplace. There is entry and study requirements. As I said, I want to emphasise that well-performed students, in terms of their bachelors, have a high chance of being accepted. Those with lower grades are going to be more difficult. They're going to have to bring something else in terms of their work experience to get them across the line, because we've got to be assured that they have the academic skill set to be able to exceed at a high level. Obviously, our students need to hold a visa. Ebeneath has talked about the rights they have to work 20 hours a week, but I would I'd like to just qualify that. Sometimes our students, international students, get in trouble because they're working too many hours. And what is happening is that is impacting their study, and that can lead to lower grades and failure. So often, if they are failing, I'm asking them to reduce their work hours, because they're here to study, not just work. All right, that's an add-on. So I just want to put that out as a warning, that they've got to keep that balance so they are successful. And there is a requirement for 100% attendance, but obviously if students are sick or have got, other reasons, they need to communicate that to us. And I just wanted to say about the work environment in New Zealand. I think at the present time, New Zealand is in a recession, although it appears that we're bottoming out and coming out of that. Our inflation has dropped in the last 2 quarters, and so we're hoping for things to improve in the next year. So the job market is not as buoyant as it was. So really, students are going to find a competitive workplace. So they need to focus on, having good grades and, presenting themselves really well, and to present a skill set that a business is looking for. The other thing to be wary of, or that the students on their post-study visa rights need to know, is about the new government re-employed a 90-day trial-free period for all new employees. So if they have the right employers to ask an employee to leave within a 3-month period if they are not up to standard. So I think applicants need to be aware of that in the marketplace. Obviously, there are controls around that, but they need to be aware of that. And that's right. And so in the last slide, Bianca, can you just go to the last slide? This is what we all work towards, for our students to be successful and to achieve their goals and attend a graduation ceremony. I'm happy to take questions when.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Liz, for giving us an insightful about how the academic entry requirements would affect their applications in Unitec, and about the competitive market um, waiting there. Thank you for talking about it. Now, what I would like to do is I'll stop share my screen, and I will quickly just pull up another presentation just for our licensed immigration advisor to speak about the skilled migrant pathway. And just give me a minute while I pull that up. It won't take long. All right. Can you see my screen? Miss Vandana, whenever you're ready.
Yes. Thank you so much, Priyanka. Thank you so much, Dr. Liz. Thanks, Abhineet, for sharing the excellent insights and the presentation with our attendees today. I would now like to give the highlights of doing the studies in New Zealand from the immigration perspective. If we discuss about the highlights of doing a master's course, so a lot of students are interested in doing that. So please be aware that any master's course in level 9 has one major benefit, that it has 3-year post-study work visa. If the students select a PG diploma level 8, the program gives the eligibility to have then 1-year post-study work visa, provided both these courses are studied in New Zealand on campus with at least 30 weeks of studies in New Zealand. The master's course duration can vary from 1 year to 2 years. And as you would have seen in the presentation, the credits could be around 120, 180 credits, depending upon what you selected. So master's by research would also give options of full-time work rights if somebody's enrolled in one. What are the options for partners and dependent children if a student selects a master's program? So partners can apply for a partner of a student work visa, and dependent children can get a student or a visitor visa depending upon their age and study as on a domestic fee paying student. The partnership-based work visa for partners gives them open work conditions, and they can work in any employment anywhere in New Zealand in any occupation. Another benefit of doing a master's or a postgraduate program is that it does offer a streamlined pathway to New Zealand towards a residence visa. And also the students can work part-time and full-time on their scheduled vacations, and the work rights have been very nicely explained by Dr. Liz. Students have to be aware that the prime reason for them to be in New Zealand is study. So the study cannot compromise their study for doing their work, and 20 hours of work rights imply 20 hours a week. Sometimes employers in New Zealand pay fortnightly. So even if you're getting the salary fortnightly and you can see 40 hours a fortnight and you worked maybe 15 hours in a week, does not allow you to work anything more than 20 hours in the following week. You can get into a breach of your visa condition if doing that. Another thing which Dr. Liz has made very clear there is that you have to attend 100% unless there is a valid reason. So if it's a health reason, you must have evidence. Any other reason must have evidence. So students do have work rights, but they need to be aware that the prime objective of being here on a student visa ensures they have to ensure that their studies is not compromised. Okay, so courses in demand. We're talking about health courses here. We've also talked about accounting and other programs. So most of the master's program, all of the master's program would have a pathway to residence, irrespective of whatever uh, subject that you would have selected. Some courses would lead to green list pathways. There would be courses that the courses would lead to skilled migrant category pathways, but there is a pathway leading to residence after a study of bachelor's and even master's programs. Next, Priyanka, I've done with that. Okay, so we've already covered partners and dependents visa options. If I get into details, level 9, if a student is coming to study a level 9 program, master's program, partners get partner of a student work visa option. If a student is enrolled for a bachelor's, for level 8 qualification, students will get the option for a partnership-based visitor visa unless the level 7 or a level 8 qualification is listed on the appendix 13. So if it's a program on a green list or an option listed there on the listed on the green list as one of the course which leads to a registration which is listed on the green list. So there are some courses on level 7 and level 8 which also give partners work rights. Other than that, level 9 and above courses give partners a work rights. Options for dependent children, student visa for somebody who is more than 5 years till the time they finish their school, and less than 5 years student visas, less than 5 years dependent children could be given an option for a dependent child visitor visa. And also something to note here is that on a dependent child visitor visa, these children could also have the option to attend 20 hours of preschool as a domestic student without paying anything. So 20 hours of preschool education catered for. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Vandana and Dr. Liz and Abhineet for sharing such helpful information and presenting it so well. So with that, now it's time to open the floor for question and answers. So what I would do is now, since I've stopped shared my screen, I will quickly start picking up questions one by one, and either of you could answer those questions. So the first question that we have is, what about the scholarship requirements? Is there any scholarship that Unitec is offering currently? Abhineet, or would you like to
Yeah,
take that up?
I would like to take that. So currently, what we offer is the study grants for master's program. So there's a $4,000 study grant offered to all students who receive unconditional offer letters. So this 4,000 is divided according to 240 credits. So if student is studying for 180 credit, they would be eligible to get a $3,000 study grant. The only requirement is to be eligible to get an unconditional offer letter. So once they have unconditional offer of place, so the fee would be discounted on the offer of place, and student could see that on their the document which they receive. So that's the only scholarship we are offering at the moment, for especially for South Asian students.
Thank you, Abhineet. Thank you for highlighting that. The next question that we have is, does the Master of Professional Accounting program facilitate a fast-track career change into the field of accounting? Would you like to answer that, or would Dr. Liz like to answer that one?
I think I'll leave Liz to answer that. Thanks.
Definitely. I said this program is accredited by Chartered Accountants Australia, New Zealand, and CPA Australia, which means it gives students the right to enter the profession. They will still have to do the professional exams, but they can get provisional membership once they've completed. I also need to note that students that come with chartered accounting membership in India and Sri Lanka can short track their professional requirements in those bodies. So they need to inquire about that on their websites.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liz. If I may also add the immigration bit here. So if somebody does a master's in accounting, they would, and if they want to further apply for a residence visa here in New Zealand, they would have two options. One option could be applying for a skilled migrant category residence visa, and then they have 3-year post-study work visa. In that 3 years, if they are able to get a skilled employment, they work in that skilled employment for a year, get the remaining 1 point, and then be eligible to apply for the residence visa under the skilled migrant category. And there could be an alternate path. External auditors and internal auditors are two accounting professions which are on the green list tier 1 straight to residence. So if they are already qualified, skilled, and if they manage to get a job offer as an external or an internal auditor, they may be eligible to apply for straight to residence immediately on completion of the course. So two pathways here. Thank you.
I can just add that some of our students have been employed by some of the big four in terms of audit roles, because they are short of staff, well, skilled staff in those areas.
Well, thank you for highlighting that bit about the placement. Thank you, Dr. Liz. So the next question that we have, what specific opportunities does this advanced program offer for Nepali students looking to utilize their undergraduate degree or work experience in the field of professional accounting? So I believe, Abneet or Dr. Liz, would you like to touch base upon that? Because the entry requirement for every country is different. So would you like to talk about that?
The entry requirement for any master's program, irrespective of which country they come from, is minimum, as Liz and I already stated, that it's minimum what we required is 65% if it's a recent graduate. So higher the grades, the more higher chances of getting admission into our programs. But if somebody has work experience, then we can also consider that. But again, that has to be provided with a lot of evidence, and what kind of duties the student is performing and what kind of other certifications, if they have any. So if they could provide a lot of evidence documents to us, then we would be able to look into it as a special admission. So minimum 5 years of work experience is required. Do you want to add anything else, Liz, to it?
The only thing I would add is whether a bachelor's degree in Nepal is equivalent to a bachelor's degree in New Zealand. I can't answer that. That's what our enrolment specialists look at. Do you know that, Ebony? Do you know that?
I mean, the bachelor qualification achieved in Nepal is equivalent to bachelor degree achieved in according to the NZQA
Okay, cool.
level 7.
I mean, I would just say that if there are applicants without work experience, they need to be very, very good graduates. Okay. I'm open to having, students who've just finished a bachelor's degree, but the key thing is they've got to have good grades, because if they have minimal work experience, what other evidence do I have that they can be successful at master's level?
Right. Thank you. Thank you for answering that question. The next one that we have, someone has asked us if I want to apply for Master in Business Analytics in New Zealand, especially without IELTS, can a MOI or assuming without IELTS, medium of instruction, can that be accepted at Unitec?
Now, I mean, we come under NZQA. NZQA does not allow us to do IELTS waiver with the MOE. So there's the only waiver would be possible if students have a master's degree either achieved from a UK university, US university, or Australia, Canada, and South Africa. So there are 5 countries which are, I mean, if they have a degree obtained from these 5 countries, then it would be a IELTS waiver. It has to be a master's or a bachelor degree.
Thank you, Abhineet. I think there's one more for you, Dr. Liz. So, do you offer a second master's related to business stream to Sri Lankan students who have completed a UK master's from an affiliated university in Sri Lanka, who has passed their A levels, have not done their bachelor's, and have 5+ years of work experience, but who do not hold a bachelor's degree? Yep. Would you be able to take that?
What was the
Would you like-
first thing? What do they hold? What's the academic
Yeah. So
role they
a
hold?
person has completed A levels. They do not have a bachelor's degree. After the A level, they have done a master's related to business stream from a UK affiliated university based in Sri Lanka. So having that master's, would they be able to take up another master's in at Unitec without the
Yeah.
bachelor's?
Yep, because I've got a postgraduate qualification. I completed one, I hope. We'd need a completed postgraduate qualification.
Thank you. So, Dr. Liz, while you talk about it, I just want to check. So that would be a full-time postgraduate qualification, you mean, right?
No, I just mean a completed one.
Okay, all right.
That they've graduated. That's what I meant. I'm sorry to confuse you. That they've actually graduated with a postgraduate qual. That could be a postgraduate diploma or a master's or an MBA, something like that.
Great. Thank
And
you.
also, I just wanted to add, I mean, it would also raise a question on how the student would be able to get an admission into master's, not having a bachelor's degree back home. So I assume that the student have a lot of work experience, so that evidence has to be provided to us.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Abhineet, for touch basing that thing. So the next question that we have, with advanced diploma in business management plus 18 years of experience, can I apply for a master's program in Unitec?
Uh,
I know it's a
um,
very
Not having a bachelor degree and not having a master's qualification would not make them eligible to study masters directly. We respect the experience, work experience, but again, it's the former qualification is also a part of the academic requirement that we have to abide by.
Yeah, and can I just add to that? I agree with Abhineet. I think that the key thing we need to realise is that this is going into a master's, which is going up an academic level. So students have had to show in their prior studies that they are good at, they are smart and can complete a bachelor's degree because they've got academic skills that they can rely upon when they do the master's.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Liz. The next one that we have, what specific opportunities does this advanced program offer for Nepalese students looking to utilize their undergraduate degree or work experience in the field of professional accounting? What kind of opportunities would be available for them?
Well, I said if they were able to get accepted into the MPA, this program is accredited by 2 professional accounting bodies. So it would enable them to advance their career to a higher level, to be able to potentially, after they've done the professional exams, to be a chartered accountant. And as I said, we have some of the accounting firms are looking for our MPA students that are well qualified because they are looking, as I said, in the audit area. So there are opportunities after the MPA to then go on to do the qualifications for a chartered accountant, which is beyond just being a bookkeeper and a technician. It's at a professional level.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Liz. I see there are a couple of questions more towards the similar aspect where someone is trying to ask what kind of opportunities do they have after completing the Masters of Professional Accounting. So where you have answered those questions. So I'm just going to ignore those and move to the next one. The next one that I see. Yeah,
Priyanka,
sorry.
can I just add to that? I've given examples of going into chartered accounting firms, but in New
Right.
Zealand, large firms, but in New Zealand, there's a number of small to medium chartered accounting practices, okay, which are happy to employ very talented students. So there's the chartered accounting practice area. There is the non-for-profit area. They could get jobs in government and also in commerce. So accountants can get employed in a range of areas.
Thank you. Thank you for highlighting that and letting us know. So the next one, I see that as we are running out of time, I'm just quickly going to pick up the last question. So could you explain, I'm sorry, I think we have spoken about the entry requirements for MPA and we have covered most of the questions. These are kind of repetitive because we have answered those. So with that said, I would now like to just mention that we have come towards the end of our webinar. And just before we go, I would just like to hear a few closing statements from our speakers. So Dr. Liz, Beneath, would you like to say last words for our participants?
Yes, it's been lovely to talk to you today. And I think if you have particular queries about an applicant, please connect with Abhineet, and it can be forwarded on to me and to give you feedback if you're uncertain. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Liz. So yes, Abhineet.
Yeah, I mean, I would just like to thank you for this wonderful session. Although we spoke about a lot of benefits that comes with a master's program, but again, the student primary motive should not be just using this benefits, it's rather than getting a qualification and a wonderful experience. So emphasize more on that when you speak to the students. I know you guys been doing amazing job, But I think that should be the primary motive, because it's different journey for every student. It's not the same. But again, it's how the student prepare themselves before they come down, and the basic things like they need to expect, like getting their own laptop. There are small things which makes a lot of difference when they come down to study with us, and not having any hiccups during their student journey. So be there and let the students know that they can ask questions and ask for more support. Our team and I would be there to assist the students all the way. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for your wonderful time and session today.
Thank you. Thank you, both of you. And yes, you all have emphasized a lot about giving that support system to the students always. Throughout the presentation, you all have highlighted that key point about support system and how you all have emphasized on the industrial partnership placements, and which is particularly noteworthy. So thank you for talking about it. And as we wrap up for our today's session, and just before that, I would just like to let all the participants know that I hope you guys have enjoyed this valuable informative session of today's. And remember that the conversation doesn't end here. So if you have any further questions or would like to explore the topics discussed in more details, please don't hesitate to reach out to us on our email address, which is contact@nzimmigration.info. We look forward to connecting with you again in future webinars. And thank you, speakers. Ms. Vandana, would you just like to say last few words before we
Thank you
say bye?
thank you so much, Dr. Liz, Abhineet, and Grace, and all the attendees. I can give you a feedback that we keep getting from our students who are already studying in Unitec. Excellent support services. I can vouch for it because the students are really happy. Small classes, attending different classes for different subjects, mingling with students from all cultures. So they definitely have a lot to learn, and they get all the support that they need. So thank you so much for it.
Okay, thank you so much.
So thank you, everyone, and we look forward connecting with you again in the future webinars. Until then, take care, stay safe, and goodbye.
Thank you so much.